was always a tennis player growing up, and even at school I didn't get involved in football. And my first taste of football was when I was at university, after having played with the university tennis team for a while. Excuse me. I saw these guys, training on the oval, and it looked like fun. Running and picking up the ball and kicking it and catching it. I thought I'll have a go at that. So I trained with the university team for a while and ended up playing in the socials. They had there was the firsts and the seconds, and there was the socials. And there I was at the ripe old age of 20 or so, playing with the university socials. And I absolutely enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic game. I really liked the team thing. I liked the exertion. Really enjoyed it. And when I graduated and was posted to Sea Lake High School, they had a football team. I had to do something, so I went along and trained with them and started playing footy with Sea Lake. Unfortunate thing there was that I didn't play every week. I still had, my girlfriend was down here in Melbourne, and I was coming back every second weekend basically. So I got in half a season and really enjoyed it as well. So footy was a good thing to play. The only disappointing factor about Sea Lake was that I never expected to win the best and fairest, and I did. And I wasn't there for the presentation of one of those weekends back home again. So if I'd known, I would definitely have been there and done the right thing. But when I returned to work on Monday, it was a pretty frosty reception. I wasn't there for to accept the best and fairest, but just didn't expect it to happen. So I finished up at Sea Lake and managed to get a posting back to Geelong. And I like this football thing, so I thought to myself, I'll walk in the gate here. And there was no invitation as such. The vice president up at Sea Lake said I should go and try it at Essendon, which I think Sea Lake was in the Essendon area at the time. But I wasn't interested in travelling up to Melbourne and back to play football. It was a good club on my doorstep, basically. So I walked in and asked if I could play. And I think that was in 1972, and I think that was the year Bill first started. And I just started training with them, and I started off playing the seconds in 72. And I remember, look, my memory's not the greatest, but I think it was in 1972 that I was on the bench when Bill was still playing as captain coach, and he got his face smashed in, and that, it was sort of a wake-up call for me, really. This game can get fairly brutal. But I still enjoyed the running around and catching the ball and kicking it and handballing it, and I was starting to make some good friends. So eventually I hung on for long enough. 4 years I spent here, and of course we had success in the 75 grand final, and I was lucky to be part of it. After 75, another colleague of mine at school was involved with the St Mary's tennis club. I've played there too, but St Mary's Football Club locally, and he was trying to get me to go and play there. And eventually there was some inducement to go there, so actually I was also, before I'd even decided what I was going to do the following year, I had Newcombe Football Club. They wanted me to be captain coach out there, and they sort of wined and dined me a little bit, and then St Mary's approached me, and they wanted me also as captain coach, as I recall. But I didn't want to make that full commitment, so I decided to go just as a player to play at St Mary's, and had that 1 year there. We made the grand final, and we probably would have won that game, except for the fact that our main ruckman, Bomber, his name was, a terrific ruckman, I think he snapped his Achilles heel in the first quarter, and I think I was pretty much on fire in the first quarter. We were looking good, and then I got caught in a tackle, and I came out on one leg basically, and we were already a man down, and another guy. I had to stay on the field. They parked me in the forward pocket for the rest of the day. You know, it was about as useful as an Astro and a motorbike really out there, but that was unfortunate to finish there. That's really where my football ended. At least I played in a grand final at Kardinia Park, but I decided then to pursue other things at the ripe old age of 26. At the start of 75, during the pre-season, there were 4 of us, Ocker Stevens, myself and a couple of other guys were nominated as potential leaders, and we were asked at this training camp to each pick a side. As they did in those days, you'd have all the other guys lined up and you pick somebody in turn, and some poor bugger has to be the last one chosen, but we picked our sides knowing that there'd be various challenges that we would be facing, competing against each other, and so it was a matter of which team was going to be most successful against the other teams, and as it happened, my team I think just about won most of the challenges, so I think that sort of put me in contention, and it turned out that Peter was captain, I was vice captain, and as it happened, Peter was actually injured at the start of the year and didn't play for several games, and I think I was acting captain for quite a while at the start of that 75 season. And I recall, I think we lost a game during that period. When Peter returned as captain, I think probably at that stage we were looking pretty good. And I think as coaches did in those days, I think Billy kind of took the foot off the accelerator a little bit. He wanted us to, heading towards the finals, to perhaps even lose the game or not perform so well, and surely that's what happened. I felt it coming, the way training was being conducted. And, the training sessions after that loss were, setting us up for the grand final. The hard work began, and we were trained basically to the minute for that grand final. It was very shrewd thinking on Billy's part. John Barry, the first one. He was an aggressive backman, intelligent, and really a great player to have on the side. Rod Stokes. I describe him as unfaltering, a guy who made no mistakes. Johnny Friend. He was a cool customer. He seemed to me to be really cool-headed, and he exuded a calmness and a strength of mind, no matter what the state of the play. Terry Bright is the next fella in the photos. He's obviously, I saw him as a really well-balanced, skillful player who each week drew one of the key defenders. Brian Dunn, again, another one of our attacking back line. He struck me as a really athletic kind of guy, great player. Jamie Gillies, he was a fantastic clubman. Had a lot of time with the club, very popular guy. Whenever the ball got near him, he boomeranged out of there quick smart. Wellesley, Greg Wells. Well, when I wasn't around him, from a distance, I really enjoyed watching this guy play. He was a really flamboyant kind of player. Good fun to watch. I'm sure the crowd enjoyed him too. Dennis Irvin, he's a quiet sort of guy, but a really rugged individual who just a major asset to the side. Johnny Hughes, brave. He's probably too brave for his own size, really. Very brave little player. Tony Gilmore. I could only come up with one word for Tony. It's ubiquitous. Now, you may not know what that means, but I'll explain. Whenever I had the ball, there'd be Tony to give it to. I'd have a chat with Dave Manson about where to knock the ball before the ruck contest, and I tell him I was going to run there. So umpire throws up the ball, Dave taps the spot, I run out to reach it, and Tony Gilmore comes and takes it away from me. He's everywhere. Great player. Warwick Yates. He was tough. Very important to have the toughness in the side. David Mance was a bigger guy, but Warwick was hard as nails. David Manson, he was kind of indestructible. He was, from a little guy's perspective, he was kind of like our protector, although he was a comforting physical presence, although I don't think he had a nasty bone in his body, really. Ivan Russell, real dasher. He loved to run out of defence. Colin Arklay, he has to be Mr. Versatile. He could go from full forward to rover to centre half back. He's played everywhere, that guy. Stephen Wolfe, he's a real swooper, a real crummer, and being a lefty, he was able to, turn out of trouble very comfortably and get away. Jeff Klein, an unyielding backman, probably one of the last guys known to get the ball, take a couple of bounces and kick a drop kick out of defence. Howard Smith, he was impassable, focused, calm, and probably able to read the play better than anybody I've ever known. Peter Stevens, captain, he's a classy player. There's kind of elegance about the way he played the game. Good to watch. Jerry Dodgevic, just a goal-kicking machine. Alan Lynch, indefatigable. I think he only had one gear, which looked a bit slow in the first quarter, but he was going twice as fast as anybody else in the last quarter. He just kept on going. Billy Goggin, coach. He was and still is, I'm sure, a really shrewd guy. A good motivator, good teacher, just a football legend. I don't really believe in regrets. You make your decision at the time. Like when I stopped playing at 26, there's a lot of other stuff I still wanted to do. I still enjoyed, surfing, golf, tennis, squash, kind of a master of all trades. I want to experience a whole lot more, and I have come away with football with a couple of lingering injuries, and I didn't want, my later life to be compromised by further injury. I've got a bit of a hip that's a bit sore and a bit of a knee, so I've come out of it pretty much unscathed, but I saw what could happen, so I don't really have. I actually did a bit of local football umpiring. I umpired for a few years for the first Stern. That was good fun too, seeing football from another perspective. So there are other things I wanted to do. And if there is a regret, then I wouldn't have been as good a tennis player. Maybe I could have played football earlier, but you can't have these things over, really.
You've given your heart to get here and your soul to get it right. You can take 'em boots and all, but it's sure gonna take a fight. When you spend all week getting to your peak, you're gonna have your say. You bet. On Sunday, it's the BFA. It's Sunday, you're gonna make your play for the BFA. Today you're gonna fly. It's Sunday for the BFA. It's Sunday.